Right, I'm sorry guys, if you're watching us later and you think, oh, she's pulling a lot of faces, we seem to be having a problem with the chat. Getting a bit flustered, getting a bit frustrated, if I'm honest. I don't get what's going on at all. I don't get what's going on at all. So hopefully this has now worked. I need to reopen my account on it so I can check. Oh. I've got 4 watching and there's no messages, so my guess is no. It's not worked. Oh, Stacey. My comments ain't coming through. I don't know what's going on. Surely. So we can talk in emojis. What is going on? Oh, it's always a way, isn't it? They're update when they're blooming thing. Right. This is how I'm feeling. What the heck? In it, we can talk in emojis. Let's talk in emojis. So just react to what I'm saying, guys, so I know whether you're enjoying it or not. What the hell? How can we use them, but we can't put words in? Like, what the heck? And yet you guys can't see every comment. Oh, Hev, hello. 안녕하세요. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on at all. I can't fully see the chat. I'm glad I didn't have a guess. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? The only other way we can do it is, oh, we could do it that way. So instead of doing it live chat, it's doing it comments. Ah, we could do it that way. We will beat YouTube at its own game. Hello. Hold on, because I'll have to change account. Hello, Danny. So what you can do is, as I'm talking, you can comment on the video. I've just got to go into the right account so I can see the comments as they're coming through. I know. It's annoying. It's annoying. It's annoyed me. Really, really badly annoyed me, if I'm honest. if I'm honest. I don't get how we're managing to use. Yeah, you can send emojis. Emojis are sending fine, but actual words aren't sending. It's like they've done a ban on every single English word. So I don't know what's going on. Oh, so you can't even switch to be able to comment on this post. See? Non-English words. Any of you know how to speak Korean? I can read Korean. We can do it through Korean. If I don't laugh, I'm going to sit here and cry. Honestly, I really am. Bonjour. See? If it's not English, it comes through. What the heck? Does anyone know how to speak Pygmy Latin? I can speak Pygmy Latin as well. For the first time ever, typos are going to come in handy, guys. Oh, maybe the purple. Oh, now I'm in the dark. In it. See? See? Johnny, oh my goodness, I love that. Meant to be talking paranormal and something really messed up here. Oh, sparklers, honestly, made me giggle. Oh. I will report this to YouTube, guys. I will most probably have to sort it out to do another live on my own by the looks of it, so I can answer your questions. Thank you. Oh, hold on. So, Hev does want a couple of questions answering, so I will actually answer these because I couldn't keep up with her questions and stuff. So she's actually now done it as a list. So I will actually answer these. And this is a conversation I actually wanted to have during this live. So thank you, Head, for that. Bless your heart. So thank you. So what is the kindest thing a spirit has ever done for someone? I think the kindest thing is just coming back and telling them that they're okay. That everything's going to be all right. I think also one of the kindest things I've actually witnessed, and this was dealing with someone a few years ago actually. I love this question, Heb, thank you. I completely forgot about this, Heb, you know. We had a lady spirit and she would not leave this family alone, So I was investigating what was going on with her, why she wouldn't move over to light. She needed to do something, and that's what she kept saying. And everything was pointed towards this lady's family. So I was like, brilliant, we'll sort this out, not a problem at all. Towards the lady's husband, sorry. Well, basically, this lady spirit, while this lady was out and about, had latched to her because she could feel her husband was cheating on her. So she wouldn't pass over until she knew the truth about her husband. That it was horrible to have to tell him the truth, But that is actually, for me personally, that was the kindest thing I've ever had to deal with for someone. That was actually the kindest one. Um, yes, spirits always teach me lessons all the time. Oh, all the time. One of the main ones it's taught me is not to judge. So often people look at spirits that are stuck here as a positive entity, just purely positive or purely negative, is not to judge them because you never know which one they're going to be. And you never do. So I think one of the biggest lessons they taught me is not to judge. And I think that's one of the most important lessons actually they taught me. Um, what's something about spirit world that shocked you when you learned it? Ooh. Something about the spirit world that shocked me when I learned it. Oh, protection. Actually, how important protection is. I have to admit that. Now, that sounds really weird, and I do know that. Um, but one of the things that I didn't realize is how much we can protect ourselves against the spirits. I didn't realize that. And that was a big shock to me. That was a massive shock to me. Because for me, we had to use witchcraft, we had to use talismans, we had to use all this stuff. And to be honest, a lot of it is about us. A lot of it is about us. So that was one of the biggest shocks that I actually got with it, that they taught me. Yes, spirits do care about how we remember them. Depending on the spirit, actually, they're very human, very, very human. Remembering them is very important to keep them alive in the afterlife. I think once you forget them, that's when they're reincarnated, if I'm honest. I think there's a part of something to do with reincarnation there. But spirits do. And they actually care about the way we talk about them now as well, especially when you get a high class spirit. If you get a high class spirit, whew, they really do care, really do care. So yeah, they really do care about the way we remember them. Also, one of the things as well is they're more understanding. So if you remember a spirit and they don't realize it, but in a negative light, they're more understanding now, especially if they're in the light. If they're not in the light, they're not. But if they're in the light, they are a lot more understanding now about the memories we have because they seem to be able to see their own behaviors and go, actually, I was a bit of a dick then. Um, so that is quite nice, that one. Can too many people trying to contact? Yes. Oh, yes. Now, this is one of the questions I refuse to answer you in private message. And I says, I'm keeping that one for YouTube. So, yes, they can. This is one thing that actually makes me quite angry. You pulling a spirit too often from the light can actually cause them to get stuck here. So keep disturbing them, keep contacting them, especially from the light is a bad thing. Spirits here as well, they can get very pissed off with keep treating them like monkeys, which is why I've just, you saw with Priest Cottage, um, not so much the old Salutation Inn, and you saw a little bit at East Drive. That is why, in a way, I do my investigations very different. What you saw at Priest Cottage, with me being on the floor with the little lad, talking to him like he's a child, a human child, because that is what he is in his head. What you saw with me with that, that is the way I am with them. I talk to them as if they're still alive. I don't treat them as if they're dead, and I don't want them. I know they're there. I don't need proof of it. I only film it and put it on YouTube for education. That is the reason I do it. I don't need to evidence to anyone that they're there. I don't need to do that. It is just filmed and put on YouTube for purely for education. And obviously, hopefully, I'll get paid for it one day. You know, I'll hold my hands up. There is that as well. Um, but this is the one thing that does frustrate me a lot, a heck of a lot. Because you can have a spirit which is grey, so they're not actually a shadow man, but you can piss them off that much that they'll turn into a black shadow. And this is why I say it to people, don't mess with them. Please do not mess with them. And this is one of the things that I want to educate people with, because I think it is very, very important. I'm going to put my mouse next to the questions that I've done. Can spirits disagree with each other or have conflicts? Yeah. Oh, blimey. Shawnee knows this one. Shawnee knows this one. Yeah, and it can be carried on over in, if they're in the light, it can still carry on. Still carry on, even if they're in the light. But yeah, they can. I've seen I've seen proper punch ups in between spirits still where they're stuck in play. Even the residential spirits, you can see it. The residential energy, you can see where there's a big bust up. Um, you can also see conflicts in actually private investigations a lot. So you'll have where there's actually a resident spirit there. So there's a spirit there in that home all the time. And then the person moves in and they're like, oh, it's because I've moved into the home, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, it's not. They're not actually fighting with you. They're fighting with the spirit you've brought with them. So there can be an intriguing sort of like conflict as in that. Very territorial. Some spirits are very territorial. Extremely territorial, actually, if I'm honest. Um, what's the one thing? Don't mess with it. So one thing I wish people understood about the paranormal, don't mess with it. And I know I'm going out there investigating, and I know I'm taking you guys. I've been taking you guys. It's one of the things that we're going to be doing soon is doing meetups at haunted places. So I know I'll be taking you guys, but you'll all be protected. One of the things that I am going to charge for, and I hold my hands up, is you guys having a protection bag. Because protection is absolutely massive. So I will be doing that. And I think this is one of the things that really frustrates me because people talk about the white light and they don't even know what the fudge it is. So they say, oh, well, my white light's protecting me. Well, what is your white light? Oh, it's my white light. What is it? You know, so they don't even know what their white light is. So they're playing with stuff that they don't even know they're playing with. um, People keeping haunted dolls and then they're having accidents or they're feeling depressed or you know stuff like that, they're struggling with addiction and you wonder why. The reason you're like this, the reason why you're being an arrogant so is because your energy is being drained every day by that haunted bloody doll you've got in the corner of your room. This is what I want them to learn. This is it's one thing I really get frustrated with in the paranormal world. Really, really do. I get so frustrated with it. Really, really do. What signs should people look for with spirits around them? See, now this is very different. So you've got the good spirits when the good spirits are around you. So this could be feathers falling out the sky. Obviously, not everything is a sign, so I do say that. One of the biggest signs I would say that a spirit is around you is how do I word it? The changing animals is the way I'm going to word it. So it'd be there's a sudden change, feel the way that animals are is a massive one. So suddenly your dogs are doing strange activities or staring at a wall and growling, or your cat's suddenly looking at something. Um, Even mice, rabbits, everything gets affected by spirits because they can feel, see, etc., hear it. One of the things that I've actually witnessed, which really tripped me out, was a bee flew. All of a sudden, the spirit come up and it actually come back and went round it, and I was really tripped out by that. So that is one of the major things. One of the things that I personally don't believe in as much is orbs. So I will admit that I'm a bit on the fence about orbs. So when people say, "Oh, we've got orbs and all that around the house," I'm a bit on the fence about that one. So I will admit that one. I will admit that. Yeah, all the time. I get messages that even my customers don't understand. And a couple of weeks later, all of a sudden, I'll get a call going, "Do you know what, Empress? You were right." And sometimes it's a premonition message, so that's why it hasn't actually happened yet. So sometimes it's a premonition message. Sometimes the message is they're confused, so the actual spirit's confused. I've had it where I was again dealing with an attachment case, and the spirit thought the the person was their child, but it actually wasn't. The spirit was from like the 1700s. So I was like, look, it can't be your child. It's this. But all that's happened is they've recognised the soul. That's when I actually realised that reincarnation was real, and they've recognised the soul as their child. So they've attached to this person, and basically, I was getting really confused because I was like, their mum sat next to them. What the heck's going on? And this is the thing. So we do get messages all the time, even through tarot. I get messages all the time that don't quite make sense. The tarot deck's moved again. The most misconception people have about ghosts. Well, where do I start with that one? Where do I start with that one? Oh, I don't know where to start with that one. There is so many. This is where Sean is like, I could give you some. Um, One, that they are here only from trauma. That one frustrates me. That they must have had this traumatic death to be stuck here. That ain't true. So one is that I personally would say. So one is that, and the other one is, why do you want me to say rebuild an energy? Because that isn't one. That isn't a misconception at all. It is. Oh, okay. So that you can rebuild their energy with your energy. They can vampire you and suck your energy out of you and stuff like that. But that doesn't rebuild their energy. It just feeds them. Just feeds them. So I think that's another misconception. Right. That one I'm going to keep for Spiritual Monday Suite. So I'm going to copy and paste that somewhere so I've got it. Yes. Yes. So one of the things that the land can do and building, so there's something called stone theory, actually stone hypothesis. So I'm going to correct myself because it's not been proven. Um, and basically what it is people are trying to build evidence on the land, buildings, etc., holding energy. It all can. It all can. So they do hold on to trauma as well. So there's one place up here which has seen a lot of battles near Wakefield, and going there is horrible. Like the negative energy, because it's seen a lot of battles, it's had a lot of trauma. and the land now holds on to that. Um, and even sometimes, and the spirits hold on to that are there, and they struggle sometimes. I've gone to houses where they're haunted, and all it is someone passed away on their land hundreds of years ago, and that is what it is. Um, and basically, they don't see it. They see it the way we see it, but they don't at the same time. It's really confusing. They get confused then, and they get flustered as well. So it can actually really affect them as well. Yes, all the time, all the time. The one place that I've been, and everyone was telling me, "Ye on Salutation Inn." There was actually nearly a row there, and that's because I kept saying this isn't 11th century, this is 9th century, and everyone's going, "No, it's not. No, it's not. It's 11th century." Rah, rah, rah. I was going, "It's not. It's 9th century." And I literally had a peasant child in front of me digging out from the 9th century, and I could tell by the way they were talking, the words they were saying, and stuff like that, that it was 9th century. And I was going, no, this is definitely 9th century. So when we went up, even the bar staff were like, no, it's 11th century. So when we went upstairs, I went, are you sure? They went, yeah. So they actually Googled, and it turned out the caves have possibly been there since the 9th century. They were dated for in between the 9th and the 11th century. So I was like, told you, told you. So yeah, I actually have. I have quite a lot, to be honest. The spirits are better to be with, let alone understand ourselves. Oh, spirits are better. I'd rather be in the spiritual world, if I'm honest, Heb. Like, I don't mean it rudely, sweet. I'd rather be there. Honestly, it's more complicated than what people realise the spiritual world is. But at the same time, there's not these restrictions that are on us here. So I do prefer the spiritual world because of that. And they understand so much more, especially spirit guys, like they're amazing. Um, and also, they know which ones are there to help them and which ones are there to take advantage. So I will say that when you watch these videos, if you watch when you're watching the ones which are faking, they know which ones are there to watch and actually learn and actually research them better than what they actually do, the ones which are there to fake just for them, just so they can get views, because obviously paranormal is trending at the minute, sadly. So yeah, they do understand the living, and they can read our thoughts, so they understand us better than what we understand. Even people with us understand us because they can read our thoughts. Oh, so this one's a strange one. So yes and no. So sometimes the spirit can be very attached to a place. So say if you've got, I don't know, a wealthy person that built that with their bare hands, etc., and that's they wanted to show it off, and they're all about show. What you've got then is they are very attached to that building. But at the same time, if you've got someone who has an attachment, is on the verge of giving this person what they want, which is their soul, because sadly we do have soul collectors. Um, what happens then, if I'm honest, then the attachment they get really attached to that. But as soon as that person's done what the spirit wants it to do, um, the attachment's gone. So it's not like it is with a place, if that makes sense. It's not like it is with a place where they're constantly there. That is where they're going to be. They're never going to move on. With them, it is more the fact of they just want to be awful people to be attached. They just want to collect a debt, as I say. Yes and no. Yes and no is the way I'm going to word it. This is what frustrates me about devices. They don't work. My personal opinion is devices don't work. I do use them on YouTube as a source of entertainment, and I'll admit that to everyone, but they don't work. I don't know whether I've got it on my phone. Clear all that off before I put my phone on screen. Have I still got it on my phone? Yeah, I have. So I'm just getting spirit talk up. Spirit talker. So I'll sit here all quiet with it. Right, let's just sit here quiet, and I'll keep my phone still. And you'll just get random words. But as soon as, see that? It's done by the air around it and AI. See how nothing's coming through? There you go. And that is why they don't work with spirits. Shawnee, I'm sorry. I know you love a spirit talker. Exactly the same. Head, exactly the same. Ghost tube is exactly the same, my sweet. We've tested them all out. It's exactly the same. I'm hoping Beardo comes across this because I think he'll like that. I think he'll like that. But yeah, they're all exactly the same. All exactly the same. And they just spit out random words. If you leave them on the side, they literally spit out random words, and that is it. Don't bloody tag him. What are you doing? I don't want to get on his radar. Ooh. I'll carry on watching his fake, calling out fakers videos, but I don't want to get on his radar. But he will enjoy that, watching that about the Spirit Talker app that I just showed. That's why I don't believe in devices. I don't. And it's the one thing me and Beardo have in common. I don't believe in devices. They can be too easy manipulated. Even a K2 meter. Even a K2. So I don't believe in spirits. Don't understand them. You've got a spirit from the 1800s. How's it going to know what to do? What's it going to even know what it is? Do you know what I mean? And the funny thing is, it makes me laugh when people say, oh, well, it does know. Why is it not speaking like someone from the 1800s then? Can you tell me that? Like, why is it not speaking like someone from the 1800s? Now, if it was coming through with words from the 1800s, 1700s, etc., I'd understand it and I respect it. But they don't. And when I speak to spirits from the 1950s speak different to now. And this is the thing that frustrates me, frustrates the hell out of me. And this is how I know some mediums lie as well. Shawnee, me with this. You know me with this week. Imagine it, right? I don't mean it rudely. I don't understand a word a Viking spirit says. They're speaking Dane, and they're speaking Old Dane. Someone literally stood there going, I can see a Viking, and it's talking to me, but I don't know a word it's saying. Does anyone know Old Danish? You know what I mean? I need a Danish bloody translator. I don't understand what they're saying. And then it's different dialects for each tribe. Same with a Saxon one. This is it. Some Saxon I understand because it's close to German. But it just frustrates me, and it does frustrate me with these apps because they are the biggest load of crap there is. They really are. EMF meters, the proper EMF meters, so not a K2, a proper EMF meter is brilliant. What you see me do on YouTube isn't what I do on a real investigation. And I've admitted that. I put that on Jeff the other day, Boo Productions. What you see me do on YouTube isn't what I do in a real investigation. Well, apart from the CCTV cameras everywhere, that I do on a real investigation. You don't see any of that. It's a lot more about investigating the land, researching the land. It's more about all of that. There's no devices, there's no phones out. There is recorders, so I will admit that there is recorders. I do record everything. But there's none of this messing around like there is on them. If I did a real investigation, you'd get bored. And plus, real investigations can take up to 6 to 7 weeks, especially when you're getting to know the person so you can check it's not mental health. Because there has been times that even though I can see a spirit, I can tell it's mental health. It's not actually the spirit doing it. So yeah, I just, yeah, the modern things, the devices, nah. Yes, spirits do remember. They recognize your soul. So even they can even recognize your soul from your past lives. Trippy, isn't it? But they can recognize your soul because it's not you that they're looking at 100%, it is your soul. So they can recognize your soul and remember you. So yeah, they can. If you had to choose a device, that would be something. EMF meter, a proper one though. Sadly, I can't afford one. I haven't tried the heat ones, so I will admit that I haven't tried the heat ones. But an EMF meter, a proper one. The one so when you've got an EMF meter, so what you actually need to do with an EMF meter for it to be a true investigation, not a YouTube investigation, you have to go around the whole house once an hour for a week. So once an hour for a whole week, you have to go around the whole house. And the reason you do it once an hour for a whole week is purely because of the fact, how do I explain it? So you have readings for every hour. So the different ways that they put the heating on, the different ways that they use different electric devices. So you have to actually go around and get good EMF readings. So a proper EMF meter, it can be handy actually, to know whether there's an energy spike or something. I've proved, I've got videos where I show that I can even set up an EMF meter without anything around me with my own energy. So if I can do that and you've got a teen who's coming into their gift, who's got all their hormones mental, you can imagine it. Do you know what I mean? You can imagine it. They would be setting off EMF meters left, right, and centre. So for me personally, yeah, it is the most reliable. I don't believe we've got a scientific device yet, that can prove it and be reliable 100%. I don't feel we have. A lot of what we have to work on is gut device and old school things. Oh, Shawnee, a good one with that. Cat balls. Cat balls, yes and no. They do like to be played with by the spirits, etc. But for me personally, they go up. They're too temperamental. they're too temperamental, way too temperamental. So for me personally, cat balls is a yes or no, but it's just because they're so temperamental that I do sort of say a no. So assessing someone's mental. So if you joined and you're watching this later, guys, and you wonder why I'm reading messages, it's purely because we've got a problem with the chat. We don't know what's going on. So I'll just let you know that everyone on the live is actually messaging me. So assessing someone's mental state. Awesome, sweet. No, can be human energy. Can be human energy. I've come across it a couple of times. Um, no, it makes sense, sweet. I had two messages at the same time. Um, no, it can be human energy. I've come across it quite a few times that it can be telekinesis, a form of telekinesis in their minds. But for me personally, it's just someone pushing out their energy that hard that they're actually managing to affect things around them. I do feel some people have our gifts and they don't understand it, and that is sometimes what happens. I will admit that. I have come across it a couple of times. Obviously, I can't discuss what was going on and stuff because it was quite bad. But yeah, I have come across it a couple of times. Telekinesis, I don't know whether I 100% believe in it in some sense because it's not the way people think about it being mind controlled. It's more energy, it's more avatar. Does that make sense? Everyone's going to be like, I've never watched your Avatar. Has anyone ever seen the Avatar? Shawnee's just sent me something to react to.
Paranormal experience last night on the live stream was probably okay. I had the craziest paranormal experience last night on the live stream was probably the most activity we've ever had. I'm going to insert some clips because I want you to see some of the things that's happened. If you want to see the whole thing back, I have uploaded it to our place. Feel free to go and watch it because it was mental. So if you've watched my live streams before, you will know that I always put the blue where it be. Like a pendulum, moving anything frozen. I think it's simply a case of there is just activity.
Right, the balloon activity, Shawnee, you can actually hear a blow just beforehand. Oh, you're turning me into Beardo.
I think it's simply a case of there is just activity. Is that okay?
I don't know whether you all heard that. Did you all hear that? Put an emoji if you heard it, or otherwise I'll replay it. I'll take it as a yeah. So just before that,
I think it's simply a case of there is just activity. Is that okay? Others are scared. Others are scared. Who are you scared of? Who's just made that?
so you literally hear just before it, you hear. So they literally blow to make it go. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Something was thrown at me. No idea what it was or where it come from. You can hear it
Please don't tell me she's going to claim the cat ball was thrown at her.
clearly. I'm going to insert the video now.
Throwing, don't listen to it. You've got 6 people off camera. Actually, you've only got 3 in that. You've got 3 people off camera. Never listen to people throwing shit. All right. Even with Sam and Colby, I don't listen to it because I'm like, yeah, it's a producer. And I love Sam and Colby. Love you, Sam and Colby, but I do that. I'm so sorry.
They claim that the classmates would have been incredible if we could capture a video of someone teaching the ball. We were doing that, and then things began happening from directly behind me. I turned around with the camera to realise it was all happening from the loft hatch. So we went, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? I turned on the tube cameras, it wasn't working.
Spirit talker.
Can you do that again for me, please? If you can remember my if my heart rate doesn't say something, I don't know what is going to say something. Frank, look at blue, look at blue. What's he doing?
With the balloon there, she's got an amp just below it. And what does amps do? They blow out fans. They blow out. She has got an attachment though, I will admit that. She's got a real negative
There's so
attachment.
much more that actually happened on this live stream I can't physically put into one of these videos. Like I said, if you want to go and watch it. But big thank you to everyone for joining the live last
How
night.
did I miss that?
Coming at me, no idea what it was. Is that something was on the floor at me. No idea what it was or where it come from. You can hear it clearly. I'm going to insert the video in now. I'm going to insert
Yeah,
the play with the plasma. I thought that would have been incredible.
nah. To me, that is proper fake. You're turning me into Beardo, Shawnee. Bloody hell, get me in trouble, mate. Um, you'll get me in trouble. But yeah, a lot of that's fake. She has got an attachment, but a lot of that's fake, and I will call that out. Um, it's because you guys make it popular by watching it, by liking it, by commenting it, by sharing it. That's what you do. It makes it popular, and that's what it does with social media. And I'm not saying you guys. I'm talking just in case anyone else comes on, because I know you guys. You only share it really with me to say, is this real? Is it not? But that is what happens. People make it popular because they're so desperate to see it, to feel it, etc. They're so desperate to know that they're going to get to have a life after this. And that is what it is. So, yeah, it is crazy. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, if honest, have. Um, some spirits have their own personal wanting to learn, some want to come and teach you. So it's sort of like a bit of a mix, if I'm honest. A bit of a mix. I can't believe this is what infuriates me, right? I show everyone real shit. I'm sorry, I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here. I show everyone real shit. I get 13 views. That's all I get, right? She goes and shows people shit that isn't even real, and she gets like 100k views. How, like, do you want to see the real of the paranormal, or would you rather see the fake? That's what winds me up. And I know it's not you lot, and I do know that. So before anyone thinks that I'm going at my sparklers, I'm not, because I know my sparklers, and I know for a fact you guys don't watch the fake stuff. But it does wind me up. It I don't. I'm saying you guys, and I know it's not you lot. I know it's the other people on YouTube, etc., and I just don't get it. It don't make sense in my head. Exactly that, Have. Exactly that. They say they want the real, but because we're not entertaining, because we're not giving them the real stuff, they don't want the real. That is the truth. They still go and watch stuff like that. because that's what they want. They want the entertainment. They want to be having thoughts that it's a playing monkey and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's exactly right. And it frustrates the hell out of me. And it does. It does frustrate the hell out of me. Really infuriates me, actually, if I'm honest. I better chill out. Surely you're turning me into Beardo. Stop it. I am surprised about Phil. I have told her about Phil coming on, but that's on the spiritual. So we'll keep that to the spiritual on Monday. I'll release that information on Monday. But I have told her. um, she's trying to change the subject now because she knows how passionate I am about the paranormal. She knows how passionate I am about people called like that lady that's caused her own attachment. She knows how passionate I am about this. Um, and that's the thing. I'm passionate about this stuff. People playing with stuff they don't understand. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. And not just that, it makes it dangerous for you guys as well because the world's getting darker as it is. So you're playing with stuff that you don't understand, and it's so dangerous. She said she's so excited for it. Bless her. Um, it does worry me. It does worry me. I'm not gonna lie. Worries me quite a lot. Worries me every day. Actually, it's something it's reason we've started. Obviously, what we've started. Sparkle's Paranormal Society. It does worry me how I'm getting a little bit emotional actually. How people think it's okay to mess with stuff, and it does worry me because it's not okay to mess with stuff. It's not okay to mess with something that is stronger than you. We have our bodies, we're entrapped in our bodies. They're not entrapped in their bodies, they're at full power. If they know how to use it. So it's sort of like, it does worry me. It's actually, yeah. And sadly, it is a route that you will see us going down when we attend 30 East Drive next month. We are at 30 East Drive next month, and when we're attending there, it will be more about entertainment, the YouTube video, even though our investigation won't be. But when I'm at 500 subscribers and I've got the watch time, I will be putting up behind the scenes videos, which means you guys will see sort of like a different part of the investigation. But I've got to think about money as well, especially because Sparklers Paranormal Society, we want to be able to help people with for free. And obviously, Shawnee and Stacey already do a lot for me. They already help me out a lot. So I want to at some point be able to start paying them a wage and stuff. Um, yeah. Sorry, I got a little. I can feel the emotion. I can hear the emotion in my voice. Um, about that. It's something I really think people need to learn. It's the same as witchcraft. People are playing with stuff they don't understand. That they don't understand, and it is so worrying. So worrying. Don't get me wrong, if you've got someone like me around you, you can do stuff like does where he Emperor does where he winds it up, etc. He can do that. Emperor can do that. And the reason he can do that is because he knows if it attaches to him, he's got me. He knows I can sort it out. So if you've got someone around you like me, I understand it. Um, but a lot of people think they do and they don't. And it's really, yeah, it's quite worrying. Quite worrying. I have to be honest. Um, yeah. Right, I am going to disappear, my lovelies. Thank you. Do you know what? Sparklers, this is what I mean. My beautiful lot. Oh, What's the one thing I wish I learned before trying anything spiritual? Do you know what? It's not actually even protection. The one thing I wish I learned before trying anything. What the heck's just happened? Hubby's just. I don't know whether it's because I've been saying Beardo's name, but Hubby's just messaged me and gone, Beardo's getting cancelled, baby, again. Is it on YouTube? What the heck's going on now? I'm coming on my off my own live to go and check this out for you guys. Oh no, he'll get over that. I know what that's about. I've seen it on his Facebook. He'll get over that. He'll manage that. People threatening to cancel him because he is a bit disrespectful. He is very rude. That's the only reason why I don't want to get on his profile, if I'm honest, because I don't deal with rudeness. I will admit that. That is why I don't want to get on it, because I'll be like, oh, that guy's fat and ugly and all that. Oh. I'll be like that. So I will admit that. That's the only reason why I don't want to get on his radar. That is the only reason, because I won't cope with his rudeness. um, thank you all so much, my beautiful bunch. I'm guessing he's watching this. I've just registered that, so I'm guessing he's watching this downstairs, bless his heart. Thank you all so, so much. I cannot thank you enough. You really don't realise what it means. The shares, the comments, the likes, the everything that you guys do. You really don't realise what it actually means. Not the behind the scenes stuff, but the actual public stuff. It means so much to me. And honestly, it really does. Because as I said, there is a day that I'm hoping that I will be able to take Shawnee and Stacey on as official team members, where they're actually getting paid, they're actually getting shown the love and care as well as the fact being able to manage my family through this, and as well as the fact the most important part of it is helping people for free, helping people that are stuck in a situation that other people would take advantage of them for. That is the goal, that is the end goal, to get there, and hopefully we will do one day. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But thank you all so much. And one of the things, as always, I will say is don't forget, keep sparkling.